7 questions with Steve and Brad. 7 questions with Steve and Brad.
It's another episode of 7 Questions with Steve and Brad.
7 questions, and we have a special guest today. Welcome, Avery. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, here we go.
Question number 1.
Brad.
What is the most surprising skill you have? What would people be surprised to hear that you're this surprising skill?
Oh no. I'm trying to think of just like a really random one, but nothing's really coming to mind. I played basketball in high school, but to be honest, if I picked up a basketball now, it would probably be pretty laughable.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
What was your best shot?
I loved a mid-range jumper. That was always my favorite.
Okay, there you go. Ooh, watch out now. Question number 2. Are you a morning person or a night person?
Okay, so here's the thing. I sort of shift between the two. Right now, I've been an evening person. I've not been waking up until like 8:30, which is only because I've been going to bed around midnight. But I have had, cycles in life where I was getting up at 5:30, 6, and then I was like, oh, I'm a morning person. But I'm finding now that I'm reverting back to the night owl sort of lifestyle. Yeah.
I gotta say, those all sound pretty responsible though. Like the fact that like late is midnight for someone your age with your energy and potential friend group. I don't know. Like midnight is pretty responsible. So my
friends and I are all grandmas is really what we found out. We're like, God,
it's amazing.
And we're going out once every 6 months. What is this? No, but
I'm sure your father's very happy. All right. Next question.
Question number 3. Who is the person you admire the most?
Oh, wow. I truly, really admire my dad. He grew up on a farm in Ohio in a town with 1,000 people in it. And, he's a business owner. He's a dentist. He went to school for years. He was originally a pharmacist and then ran track at the same time for the University of Cincinnati, where coincidentally, he actually worked with someone who works in soaps now, but Van Johnson. And I don't know, he's just a really kind human being and he works incredibly hard and he always puts everybody above himself. And I think he's a really great person to get to look up to.
Did you find with having a dentist in the family, it gave you better dental care or worse dental care? This is not a question. This is just a follow-up to that.
This is just a follow-up? Okay. No, this counts towards your 7. What are you talking about? It's like the vote, 47 questions or whatever the number is.
I know. But for those, you have to be like walking backwards through your house. We don't do that.
Yeah, cool. I'd probably trip on something. Yeah. But it definitely gave me better dental care. I brush my teeth like 3 or 4 a day. I do slack in the flossing department sometimes, but for the most part, I'm pretty good about it. And I actually was a dental assistant for a minute. So I would like to think I have.
For him or for someone else?
For him.
Did he want you to be like take over his practice at some point? Were you the one that could possibly have done it?
Oh yeah, he was still trying some hope with my younger brother, but I think my younger brother wants to be an engineer. So we're gonna see where the family business goes.
Yeah, the dentist. That's a tough job. Let's be honest. You see some gross stuff. Who wants to see that?
I've seen some really. The things are the smells, to be honest. Not to get too gross.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
There we go. Next question.
Moving on.
What was your favorite childhood comfort item, and do you still have it? I don't know who wrote these, but go ahead.
We're getting personal now. I actually don't have one. I was a very adult little kid, and I was like, I don't need a blanket. I don't need a bunny. I don't need no
stinking bunny.
I was the kid who at like 7 years old was like, I am not playing with Barbies. Those are for children.
That's funny. That's funny.
So I definitely don't have something with me now, but not to say I didn't play with stuffed animals or like or dolls when I was growing up. I definitely did, but yeah, for the most part, I didn't stick with it.
Okay. being a storied villain yourself now, who is your favorite villain? Film, TV, Disney, whatever.
Okay. Wow. I wish I had time to like really think about this because I don't know. There's so many good ones. I think Thanos is great.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
The Avengers series.
I think. Yeah.
Like he's the dude who comes in at the end that's like, I'm going to ruin everything for everyone else because I am hurting inside. And I think that's just classic villain.
There you go.
That's great. And you're right. That before Marvel, a lot of the villains were like the cartoon villains, right? And like the witches from Disney. And you like a lot of them were just vanity, and it wasn't like there wasn't like a deep issue that made them bad. It wasn't, you know, it was just kind of like
but like
right. But Thanos, you're right. Like they give you a pretty good idea of why he's doing these terrible things, and like, you know, I'm not sure if you sympathize with him, but at least you get a story about it.
Even like the Joker with the standalone film with Joaquin Phoenix, I thought that was a really interesting perspective to get to take from that film, and I thought it was really nice that they finally gave like a deeper perspective into that character, because I think that's another one that can very easily be like, oh, mustache twirling, I'm doing evil things, let me blow stuff up. But getting to sort of see the like mental illness behind it all, and you know, I thought that was really interesting.
Well, Esme knows her way around mental illness.
She does.
Hey, Mom and Dad.
In the family.
Avery, next question. What would your advice be for other young actors?
I think if you don't love it, don't do it. I think there's a lot of people who are striving to be in this industry, and it is a very difficult industry to break into, which now is truly the time to do it because there's streaming and there are all of these, and we're sort of in the like post COVID scenario where there are way more jobs available. So it is a great time to be an actor. You're maybe not going to see as many like giant stars such as Brad Pitt or Denzel Washington, but you're going to have more work for actors across the board, which I think is beautiful. However, I think a lot of times actors can go, oh, I want to get that job. I want to get this job. And they forget to like stay in an acting class. And I watch it all the time. And I really think there's a ton of benefit from continuing to work on your craft. And, you know, it takes 10,000 hours to master anything, right? So put in the work, put in the time. And I think daytime is also like such a gift in that way because we get so much content and because we get to, you know, really do the reps in a way. So staying in an acting class, I think is my biggest piece of advice.
Well, the best thing is if you don't love it, don't do it, because that's true.
But it's interesting you say 10,000 hours in daytime. It's 10,000 episodes.
Yes. We're getting that. How many episodes have you guys done?
I'm halfway there, probably.
Yeah, I've done thousands.
That's crazy.
Well, if you've done thousands, I can't be at 10,000.
Well, you think at 250 a year, I mean, IMDb says I've done like 1,200 or 1,300.
Right.
Wow.
But
I don't know what I've done.
But then I'm sure they've missed some, but 16 years and in the first 7, probably 150-ish. Like, I don't know, probably around 1,300, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, it's nuts, right? Crazy.
Anyway.
So yeah, you're probably,
I'm the baby in this department. I'm like 100 and something, maybe.
Yeah, Steve, I don't know, upwards of 10,000 for sure, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe 5. I don't know. Right.
Someone
write to us and tell us how many episodes.
Yeah, please.
It's always great to farm out questions. It's great. Number 7.
Alrighty.
The best and the worst thing about Los Angeles.
All right, I feel like these are going to be some very, very classic answers. The worst, traffic.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
7 lanes, standstill. How is this possible?
That's true. That's
everybody's got to be everywhere, and everybody's always in a rush. But I think the best thing about Los Angeles is all right, I'm going to give you a couple answers to this one.
Great.
There's a lot of opportunity, which I think is great. There's always something to go do. It can be 4:00 in the morning and you will find somewhere that's open. I love that aspect of it. There's always something going on. but you also
Nothing good happens after midnight.
You be careful.
Do I have? No. Right. We'll keep pushing the hour back.
Push it.
I think my absolute favorite part about California in general is like you've got this like very diverse topography and geography, and you know, you get to go to the beach one day and you can go skiing on a mountain the next. It's cool. Insane to me. Yeah. A place that just had the beach and it was super flat or at elevation like 2 feet. It's really cool for me as a Florida kid to get to go see like, oh my gosh, there's mountains to my right and then the beach to the left. It's crazy.
And no humidity.
Yes. That is very true.
There you
go. Very true.
Yes. Awesome. Well, Avery Pohl, you got every question right. You scored 100%.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's the first time in the history of the show.
Awesome. Thank you,
7 questions.
Thank you.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.